Hi, welcome back. I'm glad you could join me today. Tell you what, let's start out today and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need at home to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I've done already. I've got my canvas up here, I've got it covered with a thin, even coat of the liquid white. It's all wet and it's ready to go, so let's go. I thought today we'd just do a beautiful little, maybe just a little bright painting that you'll really like. This is the last show of the 14th series. There's 13 shows in each series, so we have a bunch of shows now. I hope you've got to see all of them. Tell you what, let's start today with a small amount of the phthalo blue, and we'll just use the old 2-inch brush. What the heck? Just tap a little color right into the bristles. Takes very little color. And let's go up in here, and we'll start. We'll just make little crisscross strokes, like so. And we just very quickly just drop in a happy little sky here. There we go. Okay, the color is continually mixing with the liquid white, and it gets lighter and lighter as it works down toward the horizon. Lighter and lighter. And in a landscape, that helps create the illusion of distance. Everything should get lighter toward the horizon. Okay. And that easy, we've got some color in the sky. I think in this painting, maybe we'll put a little bit of water. What the heck? So, while I have this old brush going, I'll go right back into the phthalo blue. I'll reach over here, be right back, get a little touch of the black. I want to darken this a little bit. So we have phthalo blue and a touch of black. And maybe we'll have water down on this side. Wherever. We can certainly change our mind later if we want to. There. Okay, and I'm pulling from the outside in, and I'm leaving a little area open right here. That'll be our light shining across the water when we're done. Okay, then very lightly, just go across the entire bottom here, that easy. Okay, blend this out a little, and today I think we'll put a happy little cloud up in the sky. Wash our brush, and we wash our brushes, as you know, with odorless thinner. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. Okay, let's use the old fan brush today, and you could put these clouds up here with a 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush, just about any old thing. Just use a fan brush today. What the heck? All right, maybe there's a little cloud that lives right there. Comes around, I don't know, however you want him to be. Just sort of make a decision and drop him in. Clouds are very free. They just sort of float around the sky and have fun all day. Okay, maybe, tell you what, maybe right here. Another little cloud. Maybe this is the same cloud. What the heck? See, just throw it in wherever you want it. That's the beauty of this style of painting. We don't draw any pictures on the canvas. We don't do any tracings. There's no fill in the blocks. We just sort of do it. And to me, that's fun. That's freedom. Years ago, I used to sit and I'd draw a picture on the canvas. Then I'd spend days and days trying to fill in the blocks without getting out of the lines. It sort of reminded me of my little coloring book I had when I was a kid. I was so happy when I found this, because here, you just do whatever makes you happy. Just let it go. Now then, large brush, using just the corner, and I'm going to blend those clouds out a little bit. Just blend them a little. There. Knock off the excess paint. Now very lightly, using circular strokes, I'm going to fluff these little clouds. Just fluff them. There. Maybe I'll fluff this one this way. However, there, and very lightly, 3 hairs and some air. Just blend it a little bit. Just blend it. There we go. Okay. Maybe in our world, maybe there's another little cloud that's right here. Just sort of wherever you want them. Thought we'd put several little layers of clouds here today, and that'll give you some practice doing clouds, because they're so much fun to do. There we go. Just sort of scrub that in. See there? And there's some little stringy ones that live down here, maybe right there. There's a happy little cloud. Put a little bump on him, give him some character, shoot. That little rascal has some fun out here in the sun. Maybe, yep, you're right, there he goes. But just let your imagination go. Let it go. And when you get very free with your painting, that really is when you experience the joy of painting. Get a little plug in there. There. Okay, and we'll lift it, fluff it. There we go. And very lightly, once again, just blend it. See the layers of clouds that you've created? That easy. A little bit of blending here. Give it a little lift upward. When I beat this brush, all I'm doing is knocking the excess paint off the bristle so I don't have to clean the brush again. When you blend these clouds, you pick up a little bit of the sky color and a little bit of the cloud color. So if you just wrap it real hard, just really slap it against something solid, then it takes that out. Okay. I think we're in business. Let's build today. Maybe. Back in here, let's do a little mountain. For that, I'm going to use some Van Dyke brown, a little touch of the Prussian blue. Brown, a little bit of blue, mostly brown. We'll put a little black in there too, just to make sure it's good and dark. What the heck? Okay. Pull that paint out as flat as we can get it. Go straight down and cut across. We get that little roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife. Okay. Now maybe back here today, let's do just a little ridge of mountains that live back here. Firmly push that into the canvas. You're really trying to push this color right into the fabric. Get tough with it. Show it who's boss. There. See, just sort of push very firmly. And we'll just let it go, wherever. Okay, now then, I'll take a 2-inch brush and I want to pull this paint. Because this is wet, you can move the color on the canvas. If you tried this on a dry canvas, you'd be upset with me. But on a wet canvas, then you can move it. And on a good canvas, liquid white should stay wet for a day or two. Shoot, it doesn't dry very fast at all. It's an oil-based paint, and it'll stay wet. There. Now, the one thing, I get a lot of letters, people saying, can I use canvas boards? Canvas boards have cardboard in the center, and they have a tendency to absorb your liquid white, and it leaves you with a dry surface. And we're dependent upon the wet surface. Let's wash your brush. So I really recommend you use a pre-stretched, double-primed canvas, 2 coats of primer on it, and that way it'll assure you that your liquid white will stay wet through your entire painting. Okay, a little dark sienna, a little white, maybe at least a little touch of Van Dyke brown there too, just to streak it up some. Pull it out flat, and once again, our little roll of paint. And all those little colors are in that roll of paint also. Now we can go up here, no pressure. No pressure at all. So you get all those little variations of color though, because you didn't overmix your paint on the palette. If you overmix it on the palette, then you get one dead old dull color. And we're looking for some life and some action in this. We want this son of a gun to stand out and shine in the sun. There. See? No pressure though. Okay, for shadow color, I'll make some blue and some white, some Van Dyke brown. There we go. Just blue, brown, and white. That'll make us a good shadow color. Put a little black in there too. That'll gray it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, once again, that small roll of paint right out on the edge of the knife. Okay. Now then, you have to sort of make a determination where your light's coming from. And in my world, today it's coming from the right side. Get the little knife. That little knife just sneaks right in there and does such nice things. Okay, go right up in here. And we can just begin putting in all kinds of little things. See, that little knife gets in there where the big knife might be hitting other things that you don't want it to hit. Just here and there. Put in a few little shadows and sort of let them blend together. And work that a little bit. There we go. It's very subdued, very quiet. Put little bumps here and there. Little shadow behind that bump. See there? But you're limited only by your imagination. Only by your imagination. In painting, you can go to any world that you want. And I think that's probably what attracts a lot of people, including me. I like to be able to create my own world. And I'm very happy that you joined me in that world. And that you've invited me back into your home for this series. That's very special. The fact that you bother to call your stations and tell them that you enjoy the show, or you write them, support them, that's what allows us to come back for another series. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that. It's very special. Now I'm going to take just a 2-inch brush. I want to create a misty effect down here at the base of this mountain. So tap just lightly, following the angles. And then very light. Ooh, just barely grazing the canvas. Oh, just barely touch it. Barely touch it. Make love to it. Gently, very gently. Caress it. See there? Very soft though. Okay. Let's have some fun. We'll just use whatever we had there. That was our mountain color. We'll add a little sap green to it. Throw in some light color. I want this to begin having a greenish tone to it. Not a great deal of green yet, but a little. Maybe throw a little more phthalo blue in there. A little white. All right, nice. Okay, let me clean my knife off. Grab another fan brush. I have several of those going. Just load a little color into it. Let's go right up here. And maybe, yeah, let's have it right here. Maybe right in here, there's some little footy hills that live. Some little foothills far away. And all I'm doing is striking and pushing downward. See there? It makes it look like just hundreds and hundreds of little individual trees that are far away. A little more paint. There we go. Maybe it goes right on up. Like that. Okay, now. I want the illusion of mist at the base of these trees. So I'm going to take the 2-inch brush and tap firmly right at the base of these trees. This is really where you take out all your frustrations. See there? Look how soft that becomes. There. Very lightly, very lightly. Just lift upward. Okay. And that creates a beautiful illusion of mist in there. Let's take the same color here. We'll add some black to it, a little bit of Prussian blue, but it's basically the same color, only darker. I want it darker. As things get closer to you in the landscape, remember that they get darker. Okay, now then, maybe there's another range of foothills, and maybe they live right here. See, tap downward though. And you have to decide where they live. Maybe they go clean on up like that. On over there somewhere. We don't know. We don't know. And at this point, we really don't care. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. We'll make those big decisions later. There. maybe this sort of goes up on this side. Whatever. Whatever. Now then, back to our large brush. Once again, I want to create this little misty effect in between here. So to do that, take this big brush, use the top corner, and firmly tap the base of that. See there? That tapping creates a beautiful, beautiful misty effect. That's mixing with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and that happens automatically. You don't have to worry about it, think about it, just tap and it happens. Now very lightly, lift upward. It pushes all that back. Look at there. Now, what separates these two rows of foothills is that little misty area that's in between. That and the difference in color. But that little misty area is your good friend. It's so important. So, so important. We'll take a little bit of blue, a little phthalo blue, a little alizarin crimson, mix it together, like so. Proportionately more crimson than blue. Now maybe just take a little roll of paint. There we go. Have the small knife going. Maybe right up in here, there's another little hill. This is an excellent study in planes, different areas. It helps show how important all these different areas are to create that illusion of depth and distance in your painting. I bet you've seen paintings that are very flat. And they're not, they just don't look right to you. There we go. You know, another question that I get repeatedly is, can I do this style of painting with acrylics? Well, it really does not work very well because the acrylics dry so fast, it leaves you with a dry surface. And as I mentioned earlier, for this to work effectively, you really need a wet surface. It just does not work. And I like oils because oils are so forgiving. They're so forgiving. You don't make mistakes. If you do something wrong, you scrape it off and you do it again. That's about the only medium you can do that with. You know, it's like when I was in college, I took a class in watercolor. It taught me two things. First of all, it wasn't my medium. Secondly, a great respect for those who could do it, because you get one chance. Son of a gun. Boy, I messed that up and it was over. I'm going to take the old 2-inch brush. 2-inch brush, go right into that. We'll go right into that little lavender color we made. Okay? Now then, I'm going to start putting some little grassy areas right into there. Now see that little bit of mist right there? That separates. So important. That's your separator. Okay, let's come right on down. Maybe we just throw in some color right now. There. Maybe like that. Anything we don't like, we'll turn it into a reflection. If we have water in here, and we said we was going to have some water, so we'll do that. There we are. Just tap it in. You could really put this in with a paint roller. Reflections. Grab it, pull straight down. There it comes. There they are. We'll say they're right there. Come lightly across. And we have instant reflections. Instant reflections. Maybe that land area comes right out through there. Just like so. And this is just a dark color, so when we put highlights on it, it'll stand out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to add a little black to my lavender. Let's just use this old brush. What the heck? Maybe there's some happy little trees that live right in here. You can use just the top corner of this brush and create the illusion of all kinds of beautiful little tree shapes. See there? Just turn the brush. Just use the top corner. Paint all kinds of beautiful little things. There. Get a little touch more color. Shoot, maybe there's another one. lives right here. But you can just put as many or as few as you want in your whirl. Let it come right on up over the mountain so we can see it better. Let's see, all we're using is just the top corner of the brush. I think that's another thing that attracted me to this technique, is the fact that you don't need many specialized pieces of equipment. I used to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on brushes. Shoot. This is a very economical way to paint and to learn. And it gets a lot of people so excited that then they go into more traditional art forms. I get letters every day from people who tell me they've now enrolled in their local college and university so they can increase their art knowledge. But this is a beautiful way to get started. And as we tell people when we go out and demonstrate, this is a way to get you hooked. Because you'll get hooked on this. It's addicting. And we don't make any bones about it. It's so much fun that you will get addicted to it if you're like most of us. Okay, take a liner brush, put some paint thinner on it, a little bit of brown. Okay, now let's go right up in here, and we'll put an indication or two here and there of a little tree trunk, just here and there, wherever, maybe over here. We don't want this side left out. Okay. I'm just going to use that same old brush. It's working so well. I'm going to tap that corner into a little bit of yellow ochre, a little bit of cad yellow. Just tap the corner. I want very little paint. Just want to give the least little indication that there's some things happening up here in the top of these little trees that we made. I don't want too much. Just a tiny little bit. There. But even now, even though you're using this brush rather than what we normally use, you still need to think about form and shape. These trees don't just grow at random. Okay, right here. Form and shape are so important anytime you're doing bushes and trees and all those things. See there? A little bit here. See, just a touch. Very, very soft. Okay, we take that same old brush and I'll tap it into some color. Just tap it right in there. Now then, let's go right back here. Look at there. See, now we can begin applying color right on top of that dark. There we go. Just the different yellows. And because I had a dirty brush, green's going to occur automatically. Look at that, layer after layer. And if any of it gets in your water, all you do is pull it straight down, go across, it becomes part of the reflection. Watch here, watch here. I'll tell you what, let's take some blue and some black, a little sap green, put it together. Take my old fan brush, load it full of color. Maybe in our world here, let's get crazy. Right here lives a nice evergreen tree. I want a very dark area against this light mountain. And watch what happens, that contrast. Oh, it'll snap your eye right there. Leave the outside edges very soft and subdued. Look at there. Let's put another little one, a little friend, right there. There we go. See there? Okay, we can take our knife, just cut through here and there, give the indication of some trunks, a few little sticks, a little bit of green, a few highlights on there, just a few. Once again, I want to retain that darkness. I want to keep that. A little more of the yellows on the big brush. And let's go in here, and we have to make some big decisions here. Just begin bringing all this together. want it to get darker, darker, darker out here toward the edges. Softer and softer. There it is. Just follow that right on down. Darker, darker, darker out here. And all we're doing is tapping. Just tapping. Well, in just a few minutes we'll conclude this show, and it'll be the end of the 14th series. And I'd like to thank you, as I mentioned earlier, for allowing me to come back and paint with you. This is probably the most exciting thing in my entire life, the fact that I have the opportunity to meet so many fantastic people and paint along with them each week. Let's take a little brown here. Maybe in our world, we have a little tree lives right there. Right there. Soon we give him a friend. Put a little touch of white, we'll make him a little birch tree. Not much, just a little. Like so. A little paint thinner. And we need a few little sticks and arms and things like that on him. There. The old clock on the wall tells me it's about time for me to go. I look forward to seeing you again. We've already started production on the next series, so I'll be back as long as you'll allow me to. And with that, I think we'll call this a finished painting. I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy painting, and God bless.
Production of this program is made possible by a grant from the Martin F. Weber Company, manufacturers of fine artist materials, and by Langnickel, manufacturers of select artist brushes.